What's poppin', y'all? It's your girl Easy A. Okay, and in this video, as y'all can see by the title, it's another college video. Okay, and we're gonna be talking about questions that you guys can ask your roommates before y'all move in, and this is for whether you know your roommate or not. These are some things that should be discussed prior to moving day. Okay, so if you're ready for this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I'll wait. And share with your homies, y'all already know the drill. And turn on your post notifications so you know every single time I post, okay? And without further ado, let's get right into this video. Okay, y'all, so the first question that y'all should ask your roommate is, y'all should ask them for their social media, what their major is, where they're from, what their hometown is, all that good stuff. Just the basic slight combo, because usually if you're picking your roommate randomly and you don't know them, then you kind of want to see what they look like, and you can kind of see how people are based off their social media, especially when they have highlights, if they like food, traveling, if they post certain type of photos on their Instagram, things like that. You can see if they did sports in high school. Yeah, so ask them for their social media if they have one, specifically Instagram, because and then everything else, if y'all have the same major, then that's a conversation starter. If y'all don't, then still gives y'all something to talk about, because y'all are two different people. So make sure to ask that. Something else that y'all should ask is whether or not y'all want to coordinate your I cannot speak. Whether or not y'all want to coordinate your room. Now, I know some roommates like to coordinate their room with the colors and everything. Since y'all are going to be in the same room, y'all kind of want the room to match. But then some roommates, like me and Precious, we didn't coordinate the room whatsoever. I had my color scheme, she had her color scheme. But some people do like to do that. So it's good to figure that out before y'all start buying stuff and you buy blue and green and she wants to do pink and gold for the room. Smart, right? Smart. Ask them whether or not they smoke or drink or do any of that stuff, because if you don't do any of that stuff, then it's good to let them know that way, because you know some of these people, they don't listen. They like to smoke in the dorm room. If y'all have a suite, they like to smoke in the bathroom, they like to smoke in the dorm building, anything. Like, some people be real potheads and literally cannot breathe without marijuana. Like, get it together. And it stinks. Some people who smoke all the time, no matter what you do, no matter how much scented lotion and perfume you put on, you still smell like weed. So if you don't want that stench all up in your room, let them know, like, yeah, I don't like that. This is also questions y'all should ask before you pick a roommate. So yeah, but if you do that stuff, then y'all could smoke together, drink together, get lit together. They be hiding bottles. Y'all know the plugs and everything like that. So y'all make do what it do. Y'all should also ask what their class schedule is, because if y'all could possibly have the same classes, because freshmen, your first 2 years, a lot of people just take their gen eds, their math, their history, social studies, science, whatever class, all their electives and things like that. That's what people mostly do their first 2 years. So even though you guys may be two different majors, y'all still could be taking some of the same classes, or at least have the same professor. So y'all should get to know each other's schedules. That way you know who's going to be in the room at what time. When does this person leave? When does this person come when they come back? Gosh, I cannot speak. Girl, get it together. But when they come back to the room and things like that. Because if you like to have your room to yourself sometimes, then it's good to know when they're not there, so you know you'll be alone and you have your free time to just chill and not worry about anybody else in the room, things of that nature. Also, going along with that, figure out when they're not in the room, whether they have a job or they're in all these clubs, things like that. That way y'all can figure out when y'all are not going to be around each other. Also, going along with that, find out if they like company. how do they feel about company, having the boyfriend, girlfriend over, whatever, having friends over, times that you want to have them over, and things like that. Because if they don't like people in the room, then you might have to make that sacrifice and go to your friend's dorm and things like that. Or if they don't like people in the room, if you know they're going to be out the room from this time to this time because they have class all throughout that time, or they're going to be in the club where they have work, then you can invite your friends over to your dorm during that time. It's really good to memorize your roommates' schedules. So like if y'all are cute and everything, and y'all become close friends, and y'all want to get them a little something to eat when you're coming back to the room and things like that. Yes. Ask them what type of sleeper they are. Some people are heavy sleepers, some people are light sleepers. I feel like I'm a heavy sleeper. I put several alarms, like at least 15, starting from 3 hours before the time I need to wake up, because I have 15 alarms. I'm not even going to hear it until the 13th alarm goes off. And I remember when I put my alarms on freshman year, Precious had to tell me that my alarm was too loud because I put it at max volume. That way I don't have any chance of missing it. And she had it 8 a.m. and she'll come back and go back to sleep because her classes were like at a later time. And my first class was at 10, so I didn't wake up until 9 o'clock. So when my alarm goes off, she's just like falling back asleep, and she had to tell me that. So I had to reduce my alarm. So y'all need to find out like what type of sleeper they are, and whether or not your alarm is going to be a problem, okay? If they're going to be up and gone and they're not even going to be in the room when you come back, then that doesn't matter. But if they're going to still be asleep because they haven't had class yet, or they're coming back because they had an early class, then your alarm might be an issue. And don't be afraid to tell your roommates like what's up, because it's my room as much as it is your room, so y'all need to communicate and compromise. Also, y'all should ask each other, I low-key forgot what I was about to say. Oh, y'all should ask each other if you guys want to share anything. Now, if you guys stay in GRC comes with a mini fridge and microwave. Like, they provide that for you. You don't have to buy your own. But every other freshman dorm, you definitely need to buy your own. And any other dorm on campus besides GRC, if it's not like apartment style, you need to buy your own fridge or microwave. So if you guys figure out like, I'm gonna bring a mini fridge, can you bring the microwave? Boom. That way, also, if you guys do share things, then it takes up less space in the room, because the dorm room is only so big. There's no need for y'all to have 2 mini fridges, 2 microwaves, all that nonsense. Just pick and choose. Printers, if y'all want to share that, that's also good. For me, I had my printer. Precious would ask me to use it. In my head, I was like, if anybody wants to use this printer, y'all can use this printer. Like, I really don't care. It's never that deep. So figure out if there's things that y'all can share. And if the person doesn't want to share, then it's kind of like, why you being like that? Like, it's really never that deep. It's never that deep, especially freshman year. Now, when you get your own apartment, you have your own room, then that's different if you don't want to share. But if y'all are sharing a room, I feel like certain things should be shared, because why not? Save you money, save me money. Ask them if they're allergic to anything. This is a good question, because if your roommate is allergic to peanut butter and you bring in peanut butter crackers and things like that, it's not smart to eat those in the room with your roommate there. You feel me? If they're allergic to like scented like lotions and things like that, maybe you should change your lotion, get like non-scented lotion or something like that, or use the lotion when you're not around them. That way no one's dying on your watch, okay? Or you buy them food because you want to be nice and you didn't know that they were allergic to nuts or something like that. You feel me? So just be mindful of that. Just ask them if they're allergic to anything, so y'all can all be safe, okay? Okay. Ask them if they like to go out, okay? If your roommate is not a going out type of person, then you already know homegirl ain't ever gonna leave that room. Or homeboy is never gonna step foot out that room, okay? You already know that. So if you're trying to find your own alone time, then maybe you'll just have to go to the library or go to your friend's dorm and chill and do whatever the case. But if your friend does like, if your roommate does like to go out, that's also a plus for you, because that means y'all can do things together and that can like make your relationship stronger. She can introduce you to some events that she likes to go to. You can introduce her to some events. You have a party person to go with if you don't have friends yet, or like, some people have their party, the group that they go out to parties with, and then they have the group that they hang out on campus. Sometimes it's not the same group of people. So if you don't have anybody to go to a party with, or your friends are not trying to go to that party, but your roommate, who can eventually become your homegirl, wants to go to the party, then you have somebody to go out with you and do things with you, so you're not always by yourself if you don't want to be. And then besides going out, like if you guys want to explore, plan trips, go and get something to eat, you have somebody already in your room to just be like, hey, you want to go to Cane's or whatever. Okay. And then lastly, ask them what do they like to do and what are their interests. If the person likes to draw, then it's like, okay, that's cool. If the person has a business, if the person likes to shop, go for walks, nature, things like that, then that's something that you guys can bond over if you have similarities. Even if you guys have differences, it's like, oh, I never thought about doing that. I would love to go rock climbing or something like that. And y'all can go down to Cary Street Gym and go rock climbing because it's free for us students. Okay, so like all these questions is really just to help y'all become familiar with your roommate, because you are going to be in the same room for at least 9 months. And we're trying to prevent a horror roommate story here, okay? Because if y'all don't have to worry about each other or worrying about changing rooms or doing any of that, then that's in your best interest. And then the last thing that you should definitely ask your roommate is if they have any questions for you. Because some people, they be asking the questions and the other person on the other line doesn't ask anything. And then when it comes to face, they get mad about certain stuff. Like, oh, I hate when people do this, but you never said anything. You thought this was 21 questions. It's not. It's not. We're supposed to bounce off each other and have a conversation, okay? So ask them if they have any questions. If they say no, be like, really, nothing? You don't want to know my major? You don't want to know if I'm allergic to anything or if I have siblings, anything like that? Like, try to throw it out there. Who knows? But, yeah, I just thought of one right now. You should definitely ask their pet peeves. Definitely ask that, because if one of their pet peeves so happens to be something that you do, or one of your pet peeves is something that they do, we all know vice versa, then y'all can try to avoid that at all costs. You know what they say. Yeah, they don't say nothing. But yeah, if y'all like this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share with your homies. You already know the drill. And turn on your post notifications so you know every single time I post. Okay? And I'm gonna catch y'all in the next video. Easy gang.
I know you ain't had the man. I'm ballin' on the pussy nigga like you want a man. I'm drowning all inside the pussy like I never swam. Hey, fuck your IG, I put something on your sonogram.